La 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 Adam's little vlog.
Tally ho everybody, this is a Heap of Games and speaking, and I watched the first episode of the new series of Robot Wars yesterday. I'm not sure how quickly this video is going to be uploaded, but this is recorded Monday, so the day after. I am very impressed. I really enjoyed it. Few highlights. I'm going to just go through a few things here just to give my review video. I do plan to do a reaction video to it at some point. I wanted to do it yesterday, but I got called into work as soon as I finished, so I couldn't get my recording gear sorted, and I can't do it next week because I'm away for a wedding, or coming back for a wedding. Anyway, first impressions. Set looks pretty good, really nice and bright, pretty clear. Dara O'Briain and Angela, I haven't quite got her name yet, but they were both fantastic. They really settled in well. I thought Dara was a good host. I miss Craig Charles, but he's not there, I presume, because he's recording more Red Dwarf, and that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make, to have 2 more series at least of Red Dwarf. That starts in September, by the way, so if you liked Red Dwarf, watch that in September as well. The robots, they were okay. The highlights were Behemoth, Nuts, and obviously Carbide was a powerful robot. Krank-e for a specific reason. The new format, pretty solid. I enjoy that. The whole league ranking, it came as a complete surprise when I didn't even know it was happening. And when the second round battle was over, and this big scoreboard comes up with, I think it was Behemoth who got the first 3 points, or was it Terrorhurtz? But someone got the first 3 points. And I was like, what the bloody hell's that? Turns out it was a league board, and we actually get to see them go into 3 battles, even if they lose. Which eliminates some of the bad luck issues of previous series, where if someone got a bit of bad luck in the second round, tough luck, you're out. This changes that, and I think it's a good change. It means we get more battles as well. Apart from that, Razer. Such a boring robot. Beautiful design, but that's the only thing I think that's going for it. It is so utterly boring, and I'm very happy that it went out in the first round. Quick word to Daniel Philpott, by the way. A quick literal word. It's one word, it has 3 words, it starts and ends with L, and the letter in the middle has a surprising similarity to the number 0. So Razer went out because it tried its old boring tactic of hold on to an opponent for the entire match. It didn't even break through the armour on this one, but it did its whole thing of just hold on for an opponent all match, just drive back and forward and then push it into the pit. Most dull, boring tactic you can think of, and it backfired spectacularly, which was wonderful. I think it misjudged the size of this robot, Krank-e, that was pushing into the pit. Wheel dragged, Razer went boop, over and into the pit, and I cheered. The other robots, Nuts was it was completely useless. The cluster bots, they must have been about that big. They were absolutely tiny. They said they were sacrificial, and they weren't even that, because sacrifice means you do something, you waste yourself for the benefit of something else. But they didn't benefit it in any way at all. They were literally there as fodder, and it worked. I mean, there was a moment where Behemoth threw one of them up into the air, and I thought that was fantastic, and they got smashed to pieces, and they were absolutely wonderful. The robot itself was completely useless, but I thought it was jolly good entertainment. Really fun stuff. And there would be people saying, oh, it's a wasted spot, they should have got a better robot in there. Toss off. It's there for entertainment. This show is about entertainment. You're not only appealing to the die-hard Robot Wars fans, you're also trying to appeal to people who want to watch something fun on TV. Because let's face it, there's bugger all fun on TV anymore. Reality TV had its moment, and then it became completely and utterly stale, boring, and in a way predictable when you wouldn't expect reality TV to be predictable. But I'm going on for a tangent. So, Razer going out was fun. Nuts was a great robot. Behemoth was probably my favourite for that heat, and I'm happy that it did quite well. But it came across Carbide, and things happened, most notably the fact that it just drove into the pit. Anticlimactic Heap final. That was quite a disappointment, but the rounds in between, the first round and the final were fantastic. Absolutely loved it. Some great stuff going on there. Couple more things. The arena flipper, is that even... I'm not sure if that's completely functional at this point, because there was one point where I think it was Nuts who was on it, and the arena flipper just sort of... It moved up about a centimetre, as if it didn't have the power to throw this robot over. I remember the old arena flipper, it would easily throw something over. I mean, it's only an extra 10 kilograms maximum. You can go up to 110 kilos. But it couldn't even lift Nuts, and I'm just wondering if there's a design flaw with that arena flipper where it can actually lift the robots. It might even struggle with the little dummy robots, little cluster bots. The house robots didn't do anything. They look fantastic, and I'm sure they will do something in the future heats and maybe the final, but in this one they were just there for decoration. They didn't really do anything at all, which I suppose is good in that it shows that the robots fighting each other are good at fighting each other, because if you look back at Series 1 and Series 2, they couldn't fight each other. They couldn't even put a dent in each other, and they're always left to the house robots to deal with. So that move away from house robot effectiveness is a good sign, and it's good to have them back anyway. Other points, yeah, looking forward to next week's. It's going to be fantastic. I love it. It's a different experience the old robot was. It looks a lot different, but you'd expect that. It's been 13 years? It's been a huge gap. There's going to be differences in technology. You've got HD TV. People are going to want to see slow motion, different camera angles. People are complaining about camera angles. I thought it was fine. There were a couple that were a bit questionable, but overall, I knew what was happening for the most part. Never saw much of that bonk one. That was always in the background. It was hard to see that one, but it doesn't really matter. They were all pretty good robots. Set was good. Presenters were good. Absolutely fantastic. I'm happy they got Dara O'Briain as well, instead of some tosser like... who's that guy who presents the... Is it Britain's Got Talent? No, it's Ant and Dec. The one that does X Factor, the stupid one. Very vague, especially in terms of today's modern TV. At least it's not Chris Evans. This has been Heap of Games. I'm speaking. This has been my review for the first episode of Robot Wars. If you have any problems with what I said, if you want to send me death threats, just send it to Simon Cowell's Twitter and I'll pick it up there. So, looking forward to next week. Hope you enjoyed the review. Keep tuned, stay tuned for Banter Wars updates on my channel. Updates should be coming pretty soon. Try, toodle pip toodaloo, and cheerio. See you next week.